What seemed like a quiet offseason for the Patriots has just turned into a complete mystery behind the scenes. And a radical market decision could change the fate of our defense even before the first official game. When the Foxborough front office got their hands on rookie Gabe Jacas in the second round of the 2026 draft, everyone imagined that the pass rush unit was completely shielded and ready for war. But the scenario has changed drastically. An inexplicable medical turn of events has triggered a major alert within the coaching staff, opening a dangerous gap in the defensive line. While our AFC rivals are strengthening themselves with heavyweight players, fans are starting to wonder if we will have the aggressiveness to find a suitable replacement before it's too late. And the answer to this major problem may come directly from an internal crisis in Pittsburgh, where one of the NFL's most consistent defenders had his locker completely emptied after an astronomical contract renewal by a positional competitor. The American football market is boiling. Rumors point to aggressive moves in the coming days, and the New England Patriots are at the center of this storm. Are we about to witness a blockbuster trade that shakes the league's foundations? Or are we going to accept the risk of starting the year with a major setback, putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks? The pressure behind the scenes is immense. The clock is ticking against us, and management needs to act fast if they want to keep the roster competitive. Prepare yourself, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change your perspective on our team's real chances in the upcoming season. Hey there, passionate fan. If you live and breathe New England Patriots every day and can't stand this preseason anxiety anymore, you're in the right place to discuss the future of our team with someone who truly feels the same passion. But before revealing all the details of this bombshell that's shaking things up behind the scenes, leave your cheeky like and humbly comment below. Which player do you think will be the big surprise on our defense this year? Your participation is what makes the channel grow, and I want to see our community dominating the comments with real analysis. We're used to dominant defenses, the kind that gave opposing quarterbacks nightmares before even stepping onto our field. And that's exactly why any strange movement on our defensive line has me glued to social media, looking for concrete updates. The news that just broke involves the disappearance of an essential piece of our training and the real possibility of bringing in an elite reinforcement via trade to solve the problem immediately. The board is keeping a close eye on the market. Insiders are releasing valuable information all the time. And I made sure to put all the pieces of this puzzle together to give you the most complete analysis possible. Forget the robotic language of traditional newspapers. Here the conversation is direct, from fan to fan, evaluating the real impact of these decisions on our dream of winning another championship ring. So get comfortable, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come with me to understand this story that's leaving everyone scratching their heads. To understand the gravity of the current situation, we need to look closely at what's happening on our training ground right now. All eyes in the press and on the coaching staff were focused on the quarterbacks and new defenders during recent activities, who would stand out first in off-ball drills, who would show that natural leadership attitude from the very first moment to command the group. On paper, our edge rushers group boasts big names like Draymond Jones, Harold Landry, Braden Swenson, Elijah Ponder, and Quintavious Hutchkins. The realistic expectation was for a main rotation with only 4 elite athletes, with Ponder and the newly drafted Gabe Jacas as the mainstays and potential starters to torment opposing offenses. However, the optimistic atmosphere gave way to a huge question mark behind the scenes when the gates opened for rookie minicamp OTAs, and finally, the mandatory minicamp, the number 50 shirt, which should have been tearing through the defenses in 11-on-11 training sessions, simply vanished from the Foxborough pitch. The silence before the pass gave way to worried whispers among the beat reporters. Coach Mike Vrabel was forced to go to the press conference last Wednesday to face a barrage of uncomfortable questions about the whereabouts of our second-round pick. The atmosphere that should have been one of pure celebration and team cohesion ended up being tainted by contractual doubts and an unexpected medical revelation that no one imagined facing so early in this preseason preparation phase. Things really got heated when Mike Vrabel opened up and exposed the true situation of rookie Gabe Jacas on the microphones, creating a real tense atmosphere behind the scenes. When asked if the athlete's prolonged absence was related to the trend of second-round picks, who tend to play hardball and delay signing contracts, the coach was short, blunt, and direct in his characteristic response. Vrabel categorically stated that he attributes the disappearance to nothing other than the obvious fact that Jacas has not yet signed a contract with the franchise and, in addition, recently underwent a confidential medical procedure. To worsen the fans' concern, the coach repeatedly stated that the coaching staff simply did not work with the player on the field at any point since the 2026 draft. They talked a lot and met during the evaluation process before the college draft, but on the field the interaction was absolutely zero. Given this, I ask you, How does our front office select a second-round athlete without anticipating that he would need surgery or a procedure soon after? Did they know this before spending a valuable draft pick, or were they caught off guard like us? If the plan was to have him as an immediate starter alongside Ponder, the strategic planning failed miserably. A rookie who misses the entire minicamp and OTA period enters the league with a brutal technical disadvantage, completely out of the NFL's rhythm. Honestly, I didn't expect this level of amateurism in managing the health of our main roster, and this forces us to activate an urgent contingency plan in the trade market. It is precisely in the midst of this defensive chaos that the perfect opportunity arises for the New England Patriots to make a truly masterstroke in the American football market. Highly reliable sources in Pittsburgh indicate that edge rusher Alex Highsmith is officially available for trade after seeing his playing time drastically decline with the Steelers. The player's situation soured completely in Pennsylvania shortly after the franchise closed a staggering $100 million contract extension with young Nick Herbig, signaling who will control the future of that position alongside star T.J. Watt. To make the story even more impactful, local journalists reported that Highsmith's locker at the Steelers' training facility has already been completely emptied, indicating a definitive and irreversible break between the athlete and the Pittsburgh organization. This guy was an absolute model of consistency in 2025, racking up an impressive 50 total tackles, 9.5 sacks, and 15 tackles for loss, in addition to already having a fantastic season with 14.5 sacks in 2022. Imagine the explosion of the crowd in Foxborough, seeing a monster like that immediately reinforcing our front line. The Steelers are desperate to free up salary cap space and would save around $14.5 million if they trade the defender now. Since he's entering the final year of his contract, the price to acquire him would be ridiculously low. A couple of late-round draft picks, maybe a fourth-round pick in 2027, 7th-round pick in 2028 would be more than enough to close the deal of the year. It would be an elite immediate reinforcement to provide the support our defense needs while the rookie recovers. Looking at the financial and historical context, this trade makes perfect sense for the future of the New England Patriots in the American Conference. We're not talking about a broke franchise that needs to count pennies to complete its roster. Quite the opposite. Our financial health is one of the best in the entire current NFL. After absorbing the contractual impact of wide receiver A.J. Brown, who cost only $7 million against this year's salary cap, our team still boasts an impressive $37.66 million in free salary cap space. This is the fifth highest mark in the entire league, giving us enormous bargaining power to take on hefty contracts without compromising the re-signing of our own veteran talent in the coming seasons. If the option of Alex Highsmith seems risky due to it being only a one-year lease, there is another fascinating alternative emerging on the horizon to fill this defensive gap. Veteran Za'Darius Smith, 33, has just been officially released from the Philadelphia Eagles retirement list and is a free agent to sign with any team that offers the ideal competitive context. He had a short and surprising stint in Philly before announcing that sudden retirement, but in 2024 he still showed a lot of potential in the game, securing 9 sacks and 35 tackles with the Detroit Lions. The guy knows the ins and outs of the field and has a direct connection with Patriots coach Terrell Williams, who worked with him in Detroit. Bringing Za'Darius in on a friendly $7 or $8 million contract would be the perfect plan B and risk-free for our payroll. The stark reality is that the front office can't just sit idly by while our second-round rookie remains sidelined with no real return date in sight. If we enter the regular season relying on a weak quarterback pressure rotation, we'll struggle and clash against the most explosive offenses in our division. I truly believe that pursuing an immediate trade for Alex Highsmith or signing Za'Darius Smith to a short-term contract would completely change our team's competitive level in 2026. Now the decision rests with the Foxborough executives, and I want to know the final verdict from the best fans in the world. And you, diehard fan, do you support bringing in these reinforcements to save our season? Type T in the comments if you would trade for Highsmith right now. Or comment P if you prefer to pass on the opportunity and trust the current roster. Don't forget to give this video a huge like, share this review with your friends and WhatsApp groups, and definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any bombshell updates about the behind-the-scenes action of our New England Patriots. The season promises to be a real battle from start to finish, and we'll be following every detail and every play right here.